What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we are talking about another free agent signing that the Detroit Lions made this offseason. This video, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm excited for it. We're talking about Danny Shelton. Let's get it started.
Matty P needs me to run the ball. You know, I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to do everything I can.
Alrighty, Brody, so we're continuing to break down these players that we brought in, man. I love catching up on these players. A lot of people forgot about Nick Williams, so it's cool to catch up on these players. Last time we did Desmond Trufant, and now we're talking about Danny Shelton, who probably had the highest grade initially from me from any free agent we brought in. I'm pretty sure I gave this an A+ signing. I'm pretty sure. So you can expect me to be pretty optimistic and positive about this signing. So yeah, just be prepared. I love this move. Now, before we get into it, I did upload my Jason Huntley video. If you guys want to go check that out, make sure you go do it as well. It is where we keep breaking down the players that we drafted. We're about to the end there, so I'm going to finish them. I mean, the scores went down a little bit, but I'm definitely going to finish out at this point. We're already almost there, so I might as well finish them. But if you guys do want to, go check them out, you definitely should. But today we're talking about Danny Shelton, the defensive lineman the Lions signed from the New England Patriots. What a surprise, right? The Patriot, another Patriot signing. But this may be my favorite player we got from the Patriots. Probably other than Duron Harmon. I really like the Duron Harmon move as well. But yeah, we're talking about Danny Shelton. Now, Danny Shelton was signed to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Let me just say that one more time. 2 years, $8 million. What? How? We got this guy for 2 years, $8 million, and yo, that's why I gave it an A+. To me, this is oh my gosh, this is a steal. This is a former first-round pick from the Cleveland Browns back in 2015 out of Washington. He was the 12th pick in the draft, and yeah, we're signing him about 4 or 5 years later to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Honestly, the one thing I would have changed about this deal is I would have liked to make it longer. That way we can keep him even longer, but I wouldn't be surprised if we tried to extend it. Maybe he wouldn't have taken longer. Maybe he didn't want to stay here for too long, or maybe he just wants to be able to renegotiate. That's probably what it is. But man, I love this signing. So this is a 26-year-old, 6'2", 344-pound defensive lineman that we're basically getting to replace Snacks Harrison and what we lost in A'Shawn Robinson. Now, I think A'Shawn Robinson's replacement was more Nick Williams, so that's kind of how, I'm looking at that. But this, I believe, is going to be our starter interior defensive lineman. Some people don't think he's a starter. Some people think he's a role player. I personally think he starts day one, and I think he's a huge replacement for Snacks Harrison. Now, why was I so high on replacing Snacks Harrison? Well, Snacks Harrison was coming off of one of the worst years of his career. He was getting older, right? And he obviously knew he didn't play that well. That's why he was contemplating retirement. And then all of a sudden we release him and now he's mad and stuff. And it's like, okay, man, I don't know what's going on there. But we know that Snacks Harrison didn't have a great season last year. Now in 2018, he balled out. And our defense finished top 10. We were 11th in sacks. Everybody was getting to the quarterback. Romeo Okwara looked good. Everybody was looking real good. And it was like, dang, Patricia, I see you. Now we just have to get rid of Jim Bob Cooter and we'll be good to go. So we did that. We brought in Darrell Bevel. We're balling. But the defense is all of a sudden not balling. And why was that? To me, it was because of Snacks Harrison's production loss and A'Shawn Robinson as well. Snacks Harrison in 2018 went from having 81 total tackles, 50 of those with the Lions, because, he split time with us and the Giants when we traded for him, and 3.5 sacks. He was incredible in 2018. This dude was a run stuffer. He was opening up lanes. He was taking on double teams, and he was allowing our pass rushers to get to the quarterback, whether we blitzed or we didn't. He allowed guys to get to the quarterback, and keep in mind, this is before we had Trey Flowers. Detroit Lions bringing Trey Flowers in the offseason thinking, okay, hey, Snacks give us even close to that production. Trey Flowers is going to have like his first double-digit sack. This dude's going to go off. We're going to have a lot of players because we already got guys like Romeo Okwara who weren't expected to really do anything, making plays in the backfield. Now we bring in Trey Flowers and, oh man, they're going to dominate. Well, that didn't happen because Snacks Harrison really, really struggled. He only came up with 49 total tackles, which is just a little bit more than half of the year before. 2 sacks, which isn't bad from the tackle position, but it's nothing. It's not like that completely made up for his lack of stuffing the run and not taking on double teams as well. And he also had an 18.3% missed tackle percentage. That went from like 4 to 18. 18%, that's not good. So this guy wasn't stopping the run. He wasn't helping really much in pass rush at all, but it's really about taking on the double team. It's all about taking on a double team, and that's opening up other guys. And that's what Danny Shelton is going to do for us. That's what Snacks Harrison did in 2018. Obviously, we know A'Shawn struggled, so we let him walk. And we brought in Nick Williams, who had 6 sacks last season. He's 30 years old. We're hoping that he can, keep that up. And we also brought in this man named Danny Shelton. Now, Danny Shelton is coming off the best year of his career, which the difference is this guy's 26 years old, coming off the best year of his career from the New England Patriots, where he had 61 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 6 quarterback hits, and 3 sacks. Woo! Man, those numbers are looking nice. And he's recognized as one of the best run stuffers in the league. And one of the pros that he does is he takes on double teams. And he can take on double teams well, and he can open up other players. In college, that was one of his pros, that he can take on double teams. You know, he can run stuff. And he's still looked at as an elite interior defender. And obviously, he fits the scheme because he's from the Patriots. So Patriot ties, perfect. We got him on a cheap deal. And he's going to give us an upgrade at that defensive tackle position for a young player coming off the best season of his career. PFF loved it. They gave him a 71.6 overall grade, 67.4 in the run, and a 73.5 in pass rush. Over the years, though, he's had some pretty high grades, except for his first season, which was 2015. 70 in defense 2019, 76.2 in 2018, 70.3 in 2017. 82.1 in 2016, 66.3 in 2015. I just love this move because I think this is where the pass rush starts. I think this is how the Lions are going to get pressure this season. I think, you know, it's easy to just say, okay, we just need pass rushers, but I think this is what we need in this scheme to open it up, is to have a really, really good interior defensive lineman, and we got to, you know, open up the other players. That guy will open up other players on the defensive line, or, you know, your Julian Okwara's now. It'll open up those players, Trey Flowers, Okwara. We have talent on the outside, right? We didn't have as much talent in 2018, we had more sacks. 2019, I feel like we had more talent when it came to getting pass rush. Now, obviously, everybody got hurt, but still, right? We had more talent. We just had no defensive line help from the interior. So now, if you get someone that can give you not Snacks Harrison 2018 production, but good production, you have guys like Trey Flowers, Julian Okwara, Austin Bryant, Deshaun Hand, you get Nick Williams, all these guys coming in, and he's going to open up tons of players to get a lot of pressure. And that's what's so exciting to me about this Danny Shelton move. I feel like this is a guy that could potentially get an extension later down the road, and you know, maybe after the season or the year after that, maybe get brought back for multiple more years, because he is only 26 years old, and I just love this move. I mean, for the price we got him for, you know, if we would have signed him to a 4-year, $50 million, I think everybody would be talking about him, because it would be like Javon Hargrave, right? Something like that. We got paid big. We got it for 2 years, $8 million. I think that's why, you know, he's not looked at as the same level of a player, because it's like, you know, I mean, it's cheap, right? But the thing is, I think the Lions got an absolute steal here. I think this was the steal of free agency. I gave it an A+ then. I'm going to give it an A+ now. I think this just opens up everybody else. His pros and cons. His pros, like I said, he can take on double teams and he can stuff the run, which we need. The cons, he doesn't have a lot of pass rush. He doesn't get tons of pass rush. I mean, you can just look at statistics and, you know, see that. It's hard for interior defensive linemen to get a lot of pass rush in the NFL, just because, you know, some of those interior guards are so good. So, you know, he doesn't get tons of pass rush, but for me, it's just not necessarily him getting sacked, but opening up other players to get sacks, and that's what's huge about Danny Shelton. This allowed the Detroit Lions to add some more depth behind him. As we know, we got Nick Williams, and we went in the draft and added some more depth with John Pennicini and Jayshon Cornell. So personally, I think the interior defensive line position is looking pretty good. I don't think the Lions even need to address it anymore, because I think John Pennicini is a very good defensive lineman. PFF agrees. A lot of people have agreed that with a good grade there. I think he's a great defensive lineman, and I think, you know, you put him with Danny Shelton, with Nick Williams, you got a nice little rotation going on there, and you already have a lot of pass rushers. We just don't have guys that are proven, but you know, you keep in mind, like I said, Romeo Okwara, those guys were looking like beast in 2018 when Snacks Harrison was looking like a beast. When he didn't look like a beast, they looked like average to whatever people thought they were before 2018. So yeah, I think you got better pass rushers. You have Trey Flowers. You have a good interior defensive lineman. I think this is what the Lions are banking on, is going to open up those guys, and I think it will. And that's why I think this was the best signing of free agency for the Detroit Lions. So there you go, Danny Shelton. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Thank you, Pride, for watching.